Hi, this is Kevin Thomas, and welcome to the At Home Film Festival. It is Women's History Month, so we will be saluting women this week, even though mentally and physically we should celebrate them all week, all month, and all year long. In fact, I have a live audience of women. Hey, women! So I have found 7 movies you could watch one a day or stream them all at the same time and binge, one for each day of the week. And I decided there are so many movies with strong women that I picked Women at Work. I'm not going to do the 2 most popular. I'm using them as bookends, like Hidden Figures. This is one of the best movies I've ever seen. And not only does it empower women, but it's also about interracial relationships and bigotry and hate, which we will fight against. Right, women? Yay! Okay. And by the way, they are very opinionated and strong women. So they're not just applauding because I'm asking. If they don't agree, I'd probably get words like this. Ooh. Yeah, okay. I was like, that I should have trained them for that one. But anyway, oh my God, train them. That sounds like a man using mansplaining and taking power over women. But this is the week that women should be empowered, in particular because of this month. Women make up more than 50% of the population. So why is it that men still get paid more and treated with more respect? The dick can't be that much of an influencer, can it? No. Anyway, thank you. Let's take a look at 7 movies of women at work. 9 to 5 from 1980, which you could find on Peacock. First of all, brought us Dolly Parton to the screen. And the 3 women in this movie, Dolly, Lily Tomlin, and Jane Fonda, became lifelong friends. And if you haven't seen this old classic, you really should. It's a great comedy. And it's about 3 women that are totally manipulated and abused by their boss. And in today's world, this is still happening. They don't get paid as much. They don't get promoted as much because the man has a family to feed. Well, so do the women. They have families to feed. They're often the head of household. This movie is still so relevant that my friends Gary and Larry Lane have been making a documentary called Still Working 9 to 5. And in today's world, it shows that women still are not the equals in the workforce. Let's make that happen. But until so... Oh, thank you. Women applaud if you like. And until that happens, let's watch the comical, funny 9 to 5. Desk Set is also one of my favorite office movies. This time, the women are battling machine. Spencer Tracy comes into the workforce with this giant machine, which is really an HP, but back in 1957, that took up the entire room. So Katharine Hepburn and her team of women try to fight to show that their brain is better than machine. They know more information than the machine does. The machine needs to be fed the information from their brains. But even if you cut them out, the machine cannot run successfully because women and people make things happen. By the way, if you don't want to watch this now on TCM, which is available, it's really cute and fun, it also ties into Christmas. If you want to save this and watch it again at Christmas time, go ahead, okay? Then we have Jackie Brown, which you could find on Netflix. A show about women cannot not include Pam Grier. She is always a strong woman, a strong female character. She's often physically kick-ass bitch. And in Jackie Brown, she plays a flight attendant who does a lot of smuggling. And at some point she realizes, why am I doing this work for the man? I could do it for myself. She gets into a lot of peril in that and suffers the consequences, but she's still a tough woman in this whole movie. You can never find a tougher woman on screen than you're going to find in Pam Grier, who should have been Oscar nominated. And if you're a fan of Quentin Tarantino, this is from him too. So it's a really great movie. Great cast, everybody, but it's women driven and it's Pam Grier. So yay, Pam! I have always been a fan of Jessica Chastain, and Miss Sloane is no exception, which you could find on Cinemax. So here she plays a political lobbyist. She is so cold, she's calculating, she's driven, she's strong. She is woman, hear her roar. And there are many times that people try to get her to break, but her character does not break. It doesn't matter if she goes on trial to be asked questions. She fights back. She stays strong. She stays true to herself. Great character. Very strong woman. I think she's great in this movie, and I bet you will too. And it's a nail biter. Oh, God. For fans of Barbara Stanwyck, you probably don't even know about one of her very early pre-code films, Babyface, which you could find at DCM. She plays a young woman down on her luck and always sexually manipulated by men. And she realizes, you know what? If men just keep wanting her, she could use that to her advantage. So she ends up working at a bank and using her feminine wiles to get to the top. So yes, she's being taken advantage of sexually, but she uses it to her own advantage, and she makes it work for her because she knows that men are putty in her hands. And for early 30s movie, this is quite frank and sexual. At some point, they started doing a code where movies had to follow this code, kind of started by religions. But before that, it was almost anything goes. And Barbara Stanwyck has always been a great, tough actress who can always think outside the box, act outside the box. So you got to watch this movie to find that out. Yes, sir. Swing Shift actually is a very old-fashioned story, even though it's from the 80s, where women step up. It's about when men go to war, all their wives are left at home, and they are there doing what's called man's work. They are building airplanes. They are doing physical labor and not just baking cookies in the kitchen. Goldie Hawn is terrific in this. Christine Lahti, she got an Oscar nomination for this. And if you keep looking around, you're going to see an early role from Holly Hunter. This is only a few dollars to rent on Amazon Prime, but it's really worth it. It also shows women bonding as friends. A lot of times in these old movies, women seem to be just trying to find a man to complete them. They don't need completing, they're complete on their own. And women aren't always having to be in competition. And this movie shows that working together, being friends together is more important than having just a man who's gonna come home to you. You could find your own truth and yourself by being yourself. Big Eyes on Netflix is actually a very interesting movie, and it wasn't a big hit. It's about the artist that created all those big eyes and became super famous. By the way, you could find this on Netflix. Well, guess what? He really wasn't the artist. His wife was, but she did all the work. He took all the credit. Totally should not happen in today's world. But it did happen way back in these times, and Amy Adams is so terrific in this, and Christoph Waltz as her husband is great, and it's from Tim Burton doing a little something outside of his norm. This movie is really terrific, and at some point in the movie, Amy Adams realizes that her husband is really riding on her coattails, and he does not have the talent that she does. So if you want to find an interesting movie that you probably never heard of or have never seen, Big Eye should be it. Well, that's our show of the week. I hope you share and subscribe and come back next week for a whole new program. As we leave, we're taking a look at the movie On the Basis of Sex, a feature film about Ruth Bader Ginsburg in the early years. This movie is really good. You should catch this too. I didn't officially put it on the list because it's on all the lists about feminist women empowered movies. So you probably already have heard about this, but just in case you haven't, here it is. I look forward to seeing you next week. And for now, let's say bye. Okay, bye women. And thank you for being you.